Well, you probably feel it in your wallet. Everything is more expensive right now, which is why advocates are collecting signatures to raise Ohio's minimum wage to $15 an hour. But Columbus Bureau reporter Morgan Trow tells us state lawmakers just introduced a bill that would also raise the minimum wage in an effort to stop a constitutional amendment from being passed in November.
Ohioans have been debating it for years.
I think everybody should at least get $15 an hour.
And it's something Akron resident Brandon Haverly wishes could happen now. Currently, Ohio's minimum wage is $10.45 for non-tipped workers and $5.25 for tipped. With inflation continuing to rise, economist Michael Shields says something needs to change, and it's state law.
It's a measure that would both bring us closer to the cost of living in terms of the wage that everybody's taking home.
He's part of the movement trying to increase minimum wage to $15 for both non-tipped and tipped workers. And while the group Raise the Wage is collecting signatures to get on the November ballot, a state senator has introduced a new bill that he admits is an attempt to stop the constitutional amendment.
It's a good faith effort by the General Assembly to, okay, let's meet the voters where they're at, even if it's something that wouldn't have otherwise occurred.
State Senator Bill Blessing said the restaurant groups wrote the bill, but he's trying to find a middle ground. SB 256 would raise the minimum wage for non-tipped workers to $15 and tipped workers to $7.50 by 2028. He thinks everyone, including the tipped workers, would be better off choosing this over the amendment.
Why would they want to support your legislation versus the one that would give them more money?
And that's a great question. If you get rid of the tipped wage, even if you do it slowly, people won't be inclined to tip.
Akron resident Will Cabrera says he understands this argument since servers can make more money in tips than just $15.
They make over like $30 an hour possibly if they have a good day.
Blessing says he has support in the Senate, but Shields argues that people need to take this issue into their own hands through the amendment because lawmakers can't change it. But they can always change a bill if they want to.
Take away wage protections that Ohio voters want.
And they're right, that could happen.
Both Haverly and Cabrera say they will vote to support the amendment in November if it gets on.
I think we all deserve to be up there right now.
Raise the Wage needs about 415,000 valid signatures by July. At the Ohio State House, I'm Morgan Trow reporting.
Ohio is one of 30 states with a minimum wage above the federal minimum of $7.25 an hour. 8 of them are $15 or higher. 13 states have the same as the federal minimum wage, and 2, Wyoming and Georgia, actually have a lower state minimum wage, $5.15 an hour. Employers in those states that have to follow the Fair Labor Standards Act do have to pay the federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour. 5 states do not have their own minimum wage law.